What's up, everyone, and welcome to Monday's edition of Reptile News. God, it has been a long weekend, and I want to start off today. First things first, I want to wish Robert Irwin a very happy birthday. Robert celebrated his birthday this past Saturday, and somebody made a news story about it, and so did I. So that's awesome. So let's move on. Now, I was looking through news stories just today, just before filming, and I didn't have much of anything, but I saw this Reddit post that said, what comes out of a snake after it eats? And I thought, oh my God, the trolling that's going to happen here. But I was absolutely, and I recommend everybody go read this because it's going to make you feel a little bit better. And I went through, I don't know how many responses were there, but I read through a few of them, and they were, wow, they were responsible, they were respectful, they were accurate. And this person found a baby copperhead next to a rodent skeleton that was clearly too large for the copperhead to have eaten. So their question was, does a snake poop out a skeleton or what? And the responses, like I said, were absolutely, they amazed me because I was ready for just a cluster, just a troll fest. But, you know, one of the responses says, if you're really interested in it, or I'm sorry, it looks like every other animal poop. If you're really interested in it, go look at Google. Another one said that there's not likely to be any bones left after a snake digests its meal. And like I said, there's no news here, but I really wanted to talk about it because of all the negativity that I hear and see in our hobby. It's so nice having somebody who's not in our community in any way whatsoever, just somebody that was working in their yard and found a snake and had a question and actually got it answered in a reasonable fashion. So that person now, mind you, the next time they have a snake question, they're not going to hesitate but to go on the internet and ask that question, and hopefully they'll continue getting the same responses. I love seeing responses like that, even if for a lot of us the question seems kind of dumb. No question is dumb. We were all, I mean, some of us, I was told growing up that no question is a dumb question, and I still agree with that 100%. We are supposed to be ambassadors to our hobby, and you know, those people that are coming in, I understand that sometimes it can be repetitive, sometimes it can be annoying, I understand that, but in my opinion, the privilege of being in this hobby, we should be held to higher standards, and we are responsible to respectfully answer those questions no matter how many times they're asked. So mind you, I get that kind of falls on deaf ears most of the time, but understand, anytime I'm asked a question, whether it be about YouTube, filming, which I really can't answer because I'm not that good at it, or reptiles, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help bring up the next YouTuber, reptile person, even though I don't know much about it, obviously. But yeah, so moving on to kind of a bad story. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess there's really no way. Okay, let's just talk. So Michael the Gator Crusader Womer, I'm sorry, I don't know if I pronounced that properly, was kind of all over the news today because while he was doing an alligator show, he attempted to swing over a bunch of alligators where the rope broke and he fell in. And if you're unfamiliar with Michael, he is the owner of Gator Crusader Entertainment Company out of Orlando, Florida. Now, he goes on to say that he knows the dangers of the job, and he loves to swing out over the gators. And yeah. I don't know how to say this. The news story says that he's notorious for dangerous stunts like this, and I, for one, am not impressed. I hope you're not impressed. I hope nobody is impressed, because stuff like this, it just, I don't, gosh, I don't know. And I watched the video, and I keep looking back at it, kind of cringy, you know, and it's, there's a picture of the rope breaking and him falling, and he's not a small man. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean at all, but swinging on a rope, okay. Now they do say that there's no saying what kind of injuries he sustained when this happened, although he did get out of the water alive. The video cuts off right when the rope snaps and he falls, and I'm trying to search deep within for the proper words It's not coming to me. Kids, do not try this at home. Please do not try this at home. The last thing we need in our community is somebody filmed dying doing a dangerous stunt. We'll leave it at that. And moving on to a story which actually has nothing to do with snakes, but it popped up in my news feed because it has to do with the Snake River. And I almost just went right past it, but I thought, wait a minute, no, this is actually kind of important. And what had happened, there's a construction crew. I'm gonna skip a whole lot of details here because it's totally irrelevant. The story is totally irrelevant. The idea is not. It's very relevant and a very real danger for those of us that go out looking for snakes out in the wild. But anyway, apparently there was a construction crew working on a bridge where they found 2 military ordnances in the water. Now the local National Guard, was it Ohio? I think it was Ohio, said that those are actual common military ordinances, although they did not belong to them. They do have an underwater bomb squad right now going through, and they found a cash register drawer, the ordinances, they found an old Colt Revolver. And this brings back a story from many years ago. Oh God, if I had to guess, I'd say 25 years ago maybe, where I myself was walking down a road, and I went over a little bridge and I looked into a canal looking, lizard snakes off the side of the road, and looked down into the canal, and it, there was really no water in there, and there was a .38 revolver down there. So I went and got it, and doing what any good kid would do, you see, I'm going to trick you guys here because I did the right thing. I turned the gun into the authorities. I actually did. And it was very interesting because it wasn't my idea. It was actually my dad's idea to turn the gun in. And when I did, they kind of gave me a little rundown on what happens with it. They said that they're going to run the gun, obviously. And they said that it's very possible that a gun thrown off a bridge where cars travel was involved in a crime, and that's why it was thrown off a bridge. And I mean, it kind of to this day always worried me. What kind of crime would make you, unless you killed someone with that weapon, why would you throw it off a bridge into the water? And I had it in my hand, and it just, but anyway, the idea was that they were going to run it, and if it wasn't involved in a crime, it wasn't claimed, then I would have the opportunity to actually keep it. Since I found it. Now clearly this thing would never operate again. It was so corroded. We never heard back from them though. So I'm assuming it was something not really kosher with it. But that brings me to, a lot of us find ourselves in a lot of locations that are very remote, and some not so remote. And it is very possible that we could run across old ordinances or disposed of weapons or whatever. And it's just a kind of a chilling reminder that when you're out there looking for reptiles, be it to collect them, photograph them, study, whatever you're doing out there, to be extra careful, because those rattlesnakes or whatever you're out there looking for might just be the least dangerous thing you run across on any given day. So yeah, be careful out there, keep your eyes peeled, and I guess better to be safe than sorry. If you see anything that looks out of place or questionable, then notify the authorities. The worst that can happen is it was not a big deal. And that, my friends, is going to be all your news for this Monday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, those links are right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you Wednesday.